Our series Behind the Ballot has brought you candidates from all over the country, Senate, House, and governor's races. But today, we're staying here in the district where incumbent one-term Mayor Adrian Fenty is in a tough race against DC Council Chairman Vincent. It's a very hot race here, and the mayor's primary is next Tuesday. In recent polls, Fenty trails Gray by at least 5 points with likely voters. CBS News' Christine Delargy caught up with Mayor Fenty at an event earlier today. Take a look.
So what is your pitch right now to DC residents? What do you tell them that you've done for them as mayor?
Well, I don't know if you overheard the conversation. I mean, what we say in essence is that Washington, D.C. is a city that is moving forward extremely fast. There's some things that have happened over the past 4 years which are just have never happened in DC, or if not, if they haven't been for a long time. One of them is crime. Violent crime is way down the city. We're one of the fastest jurisdictions in reducing crime. In fact, our homicide rate is down to lower than 1966. So we've reduced it to like a 45-year low. We've had population growth in the city. Over the past year, the population in D.C. grew more than it has since the 1940s. If you drive around D.C., you're seeing neighborhoods coming back to life, places in Southwest and Columbia Heights, east of the river neighborhoods, neighborhoods that had previously been neglected, but because of our administration's focus, a lot of great renewal, a lot of great city services being offered, all of it in the midst of an 80-year recession. And then kind of our signature issue, education. Over the past 4 years, probably no school system has ever made this amount of academic progress in such a short period of time. 4 years ago, it would have been unheard of for Washington, D.C. even to apply, let alone win a national competition among states and cities for the race to the top dollars that we were able to receive. We believe that is because of Chancellor Ree's strong academic reform and because of the leadership I've shown as mayor by having mayoral control and the political support we've given.
So come Tuesday and Election Day, win or lose, what happens to Michelle Rhee and some of the progress you made on education in D.C.?
Well, I think what the Chancellor has said is that it is impossible to do her job without having a mayor who is 100% politically supportive of the reforms she's making. What you have seen by other politicians, and my chief opponent is one of them, is a real mixed bag. They support some things, but they second-guess others. They micromanage other things. You have to be willing 100% of the time to say, listen, we selected this person as the educational leader for our city. We are going to back them and the tough decisions that they make. Yeah, I've done that for 4 years. It's one of the reasons that we've got such strong growth and strong progress. It doesn't look likely that any other people running against me, including my chief opponent, would do the same thing. Yeah, I think that is why she has said it'd be very, very tough to work under an administration besides ours.
Now, despite all the things you just listed, in one of the most recent polls I've seen, you're actually trailing your chief opponent, Vincent. Why do you think that is, and how do you turn that around by Tuesday?
I think it's twofold. One, in the campaign, as I stated, we've, there's been a lot of discussion about everything else except, the records, and I think as soon as, we get back to focusing on, what I have been able to do as mayor, what my record of performance is versus my opponent's record as a failed manager in the mid-90s, I think people will see, yeah, let's go with someone who's got a proven track record, especially since he had more responsibility. Yeah, the second thing is we've made a lot of tough decisions. Going, at the bureaucracy, at the entrenched way the government operates, as hard as we have for 4 years, you're going to make some people upset. I mean, when we made the decisions to consolidate 27 schools or to lay off half the central administration, I wasn't naive. I didn't think that we were going to do these things and everybody was going to still, support me in the same way that they did when I was reelected. These are tough decisions, but they were the right things to do because they have more dramatically improved our school system than ever before. There have been others like that. When you make those type of tough decisions, you get political pushback, and that's why we've had an uphill battle. But I believe when we get to the tape on Election Day, people are going to say, we want a mayor who knows how to get things done, who knows how to make tough decisions. That's what you need in leading a big multi-dimensional organization like the DC government.
One other question on polls.
Sure.
Some would say that you have a little bit of a disconnect with the African-American community, a big demographic in DC. Why do you think that is?
Well, one of the things that we've done is, as mayor, I ran on this campaign. We're going to go 1,000 miles an hour. We're going to drive as fast as we can to reform the government. When you do that, when you move that fast, you miss a couple steps of including people, making people feel a part of the government, communicating with people. I think in the African American community, maybe you're feeling even a greater disconnect because of that. Going forward, what I have said is that in my second term, we're going to have to do a lot better job communicating, listening to people, making sure they feel a part of the process and feel a part of the government. Even my most critical poll acknowledges that over 65% of the people who are polled think that we're doing a really good job leading the city. Our charge over the next 5 days is to connect that progress with how people feel connected to it. And we'll be able to do that. We'll be successful. And just like in all my previous campaigns where we made really strong pledges to get things done, I'm hardwired to deliver, and we'll do so.
Just one last question.
Sure.
So you've asked the White House to endorse a candidate in this race, presumably yourself.
Right.
Why did you do that, and where does that stand?
I mean, why wouldn't any mayor in the country ask, a great president for their support? That's just something that you do as part of an effective, aggressive campaign. But we're not naive. The President of the United States has a lot of things on his plate. He's doing a fantastic job. He doesn't have time to go around supporting mayors.